Welcome inside Manhattan Beach Studios. I'm Victoria Dennis alongside Meg Bergdorf. Joining us is international superstar Caitlin Bettenay, representing Team Australia, physical therapist and founder of Baller Academy for youth sports growing in Australia. Welcome to Grit.
Thank you so much for having me. I love what you guys are doing here.
Thank you. Let's start with playing in Australia. Now you're living in the States full time. What does that look like?
Oh my gosh, what a whirlwind. I started my journey in Australia. I actually didn't even really know about volleyball growing up. It's not really a very big sport. I was very much into like your track and field, your high jump. And then the high school volleyball coach saw me practicing high jump one day and he was like, you need to try volleyball, like now. So I gave it a shot and honestly never looked back. I just loved it. Like it's competitive, it's fast. I was able to jump, hit a ball, like what else could you want?
I love it. So then you started playing. You found yourself now representing Team Australia on the World Tour. What does that look like?
Yeah, it's so many things. I did start with indoor volleyball and then I played for San Jose State in college. So I went over there. I played both beach and indoor, which was really a great experience to do both, not really have an off season. And then COVID happened, so I went back to Australia, just found myself more in the sand than the indoor just because of circumstance. And I loved it. Like, I love how you need a really strong team, a really strong partnership. You get to travel the world and compete. And I love that it's all on you. Like, whether you win or you lose, like you have so much more like control over the outcome. I was really grateful to have the opportunity to become part of the national program over there and compete on the world tour. And then a couple of years later, like from 2020 to 2024, I found myself back in the States, very familiar back in California, but now I'm down more the southern end and really just like immersed in the mecca of beach volleyball here. It's amazing.
In the South Bay, fully thriving, living the South Bay volleyball lifestyle.
It definitely is the mecca, but talk to us about what it's like being an outsider from a different federation coming in to the culture here in the mecca.
Yeah, it's so different. Back home, like we're used to having our coach set up everything for us. So we have a training schedule, it's all done for us. We have a consistent gym time. Like we wake up in the morning, like we go to practice, we know exactly what's happening every single day. Whereas like fast forward, come here and I'm like, I need people's phone numbers. I need to text them. I need to organize my training partners, my practices, who I'm practicing with, who I'm practicing against, with a coach, without a coach. Like there's just, I feel like so many balls up in the air. And I think the really great thing about that is that there's so many independent athletes here that are really driven. And I think that's a really like strong aspect of the culture here. Something that's not so great, I think, is the uncertainty. And I think it takes a lot of mental energy and it's quite taxing. If anyone can relate, it's quite taxing to have to organize all of that and worry about, oh my gosh, like I've got 3 days of the week, but I still need 2 more days set up. And it's already the week of, like, I'm texting like all these people, I don't know, everyone's already set up. So I have found that I've needed to find what works for me. I didn't grow up in this area, like that system doesn't really work for me. So now I've like, okay, I've got a coach now, I've got established routines, I practice regularly at the same time every day. So I've kind of created that Australian environment and brought it here, but it's serving me in the best way that's going to help me with my goals.
What inspired you to move stateside, going from that structure in Australia? Your husband plays professionally in Japan, and here you are living in the South Bay, chasing the dream.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so incredibly grateful for Trent and the support that he gives me and that I give him. Like, we're both living our dream life, and we can't do that without supporting each other. So that's a really big part of it. But I just find the opportunity here, like, is so much more. Back home, you have the same 2 or 3 teams that you're practicing with every single day. You have to wait months to be able to go and compete overseas and against really high level competition. Here, I'm faced with it every single day. Like I have incredible teams every day. Like I'm practicing with Japan right now, with China, with the US national teams, like on my doorstep. Like like what more could you want as a professional athlete? So I'm fine that I'm like put in those uncomfortable, like challenging situations every single day, and it's just accelerating my growth. And that's really why I decided to move here.
Funding is always an issue on the beach for athletes, especially up and comers and even people that have been playing for years. What does that look like for you?
Yeah, so I am a self-funded athlete. I'm here on a work visa. I coach indoor volleyball. I have an academy back home that helps to support myself. But sponsorship is hard. Like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Like,
It is so hard.
Sponsorship is hard.
Yes, getting
yeah.
sponsorships is a full-time job.
Well,
It
you're a
really is.
volleypreneur, basically.
Yeah. You have to have your own brand, and you have to really know like how to sell yourself and align with different values and brands. And we did work, like my previous partnership, we worked so hard on sponsorship, and we had so many door knocks. Like we presented ourselves, we made a video, we had a package, we did all of the things with a nice little bow on it, and we got so many no's. We tried to stay positive, like just like, you know, you never know when there's going to be a yes. But I think what we found is it's really important to find brands and companies that believe in you as a person, and not necessarily like the product that you can give. Like they need to believe in you, they need to buy into your journey and like have you like your passion for the sport as well. And that really, really helps, because then no matter if you win or if you lose, like they still support you as a person first, and then they're able to financially like give you that opportunity as well. So I've been really, really blessed with some of the sponsors that I have. I'm sponsored by Herbalife, which is a great product. I'm sponsored by this amazing family business back in Australia as well that helped to support me as well. So, and the team around me that helps me grow and achieve my dreams is great.
And you're also a licensed physical therapist. Are you practicing?
I cannot practice in the States. I did my bachelor's here. I got my master's in Australia. I think America is like the only country my degree doesn't count. So I would have to like sit the boards and do 6 months under someone else.
But that's a good trade and partnership and training, a built-in PT.
It definitely helps. Like I had a small hamstring strain a couple of weeks ago, and I think that if I didn't know like what I know, I probably would have freaked out a little bit more.
Right.
But I was able to be like, okay, this is what it is. Like, this is what I need to do in the gym. I'm all good. Like, this is what I can do in practice. This is what I can't do. And I'm back already, and it's great.
What are you seeing are the biggest things from your PT lens for beach volleyball athletes?
Definitely knees is a big one. Knees and shoulders people have issues with, and it tends to be from just overuse injuries. People don't really know like how to rehab, prehab, like do the work off the sand to make sure their body's ready to go. The biggest injuries come from spikes in load or from periods of rest. So our bodies are amazing at adapting to load and adapting to stress. So we can train every day and our body goes, okay, this is the normal, this is great. But if we take time off, and then we go straight back into a full-time load, our body is like, what is going on? Like alarm bells are ringing, injury.
What's that break look like? 1 day, 2 day, a week?
I would say anything more than a week to 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. So if people are coming back from preseason or taking a spring break, that's definitely something to be mindful of.
Definitely. And we're lucky on the sand, like the injury risk is a little bit lower than the hard floor. So we can kind of get away from it a little bit because of the softer surface, but still be careful.
For young athletes or athletes in general that love to follow beach volleyball on the international tour, what is the biggest difference from athletes that you've met in different countries, comparing and contrasting Australia as a federation compared to other federations around the world?
I think federations can be pretty similar in a lot of things, like especially I think the structure and the organization. But I mean, I think the funding can be from different places, and that plays a huge factor. So Australia is mostly government funded or funded by Volleyball Australia. Whereas I know like in Germany and I think Brazil, the army plays a role in funding the athletes and the players. So that can be a little bit of a difference. Yeah, I don't really know.
It is. I think that's one of the big fundamental differences is the government supports it or if it's independent.
Yeah.
And that then dictates how the national governing body kind of structures some of those services too.
And I found, like, personally as an athlete, when the coaches are employed by a government or a governing body, like, they work for that organization and their goal is success for Australia. It's not necessarily success for you as the athlete. And it should be part of it, right? Like, if they believe in you as the athlete, you should have success for Australia. But that wasn't necessarily my experience. And I found, like, moving here where I actually pay for my own coach, like, that is so empowering because I don't really see it as like a transaction or a payment. It's more of like, my coach believes in me, I believe in my coach, like, let's go on this journey together. And we're on the same goal. Like, we're really, like, bought in, and it's more of a collaboration rather than a hierarchical structure.
That makes sense. Team Australia qualified on the men and women's side for Paris 2024 and have really been making waves on the international tour. Of course, you're competing for them. What has really been at the helm of Team Australia being so successful on the international stage?
I think that the athletes are getting more opportunities to compete overseas. I think Volleyball Australia is doing a really good job there with funding them to go and compete. They're just saying, go compete, go compete, go compete. And I think that is the fastest way to get better. Like, you're forging competition, you're forging your team, you're forging your system through the heat of battle. And I think that is what's really helping. The tour also now has a junior tour as well. Previously, there was only a senior tour. And so I think that, like, talent identification earlier is coming through. The height is unreal. Like, I think the sport is growing. So we have so many athletes in Australia, but instead of them going to other sports, they're starting to find their way into volleyball. So so many different factors, but yeah, competition opportunities.
Yeah. And I think it's a great advantage when the Olympics are known 8 years out. So in 32, Australia is hosting the next Olympics. So you really have 8 years to build that whole development model. And the juniors really is flourishing because they're even coming here, getting some training, going back and developing that. So that's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun.
I'm so excited for it.
But also, this year is the World Championships in Australia, in Adelaide, right?
Yes. World Champs are coming to Adelaide in November. Get your tickets, go be there. Adelaide's a beautiful place, amazing beaches.
Any tips on people traveling, what they should do while they're there?
Yeah, like, definitely go and see the beaches, see the nature. There's Kangaroo Island as well, like, go see that. Just get involved in the wildlife. I think the wildlife of Australia is just stunning. We have amazing landscapes. Adelaide is just such a beautiful coastal town, sunsets over the water. Like, it's a really cruisy, laid back, like, book an Airbnb, stay a few extra days and enjoy the culture and get good coffee.
Yes, good coffee. Good coffee is a must.
Yes.
Nature in Australia, the Irwin family has been the heartbeat of that for decades. What is, like, something when you travel the world that people always ask you because you're from Australia?
Oh my gosh, I could literally tick off a list. It's like, I'll start talking and they'll be like, oh, like, your accent, like, are you from England? No. Okay, try again. Are you Australia? Yes, I'm from Australia. Oh my gosh, I've always wanted to go to Australia, but the flight is so long. I'm like, it's one flight. It's like 13 hours, like, you're there, you wake up, you're in a new country. Have you ever seen a shark? Yes. Have you ever been bitten by a shark? No. Like, are there dangerous animals there? Yes. Are they everywhere? Do you see them all the time? Like, no. Like, so many, funny things.
Because we always see, like, the reels on Instagram of, like, spiders the size of a
Dropping from the thing,
basketball, like, in somebody's kitchen, and it's just like, oh my gosh.
It is real, like, not gonna lie. Like, there's definitely spiders, like, at least the size of my hand. But the big ones, you don't have to worry about the big ones. Like, they're usually not deadly. It's like the small ones that are gonna get you.
Good to know.
Yes.
And they're just everywhere? And you just grew up with
They're
that?
not, like, everywhere, but you could see them. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Are you ever, like, afraid, like, in your bedroom?
Can't live your life in fear.
You
Come
can't.
on.
You
You just gotta live.
Yeah, you just gotta live with the snakes and the spiders.
Yeah.
and-
Yeah, we have had a snake in our home a couple of times, actually. Yeah. But
What kind of snake?
I think that it was just a carpet snake, which is totally fine, like not deadly, like at all. But
How
they're
did it
still
get
scary.
inside?
Came in,
Just-
door was open or something.
yeah,
yeah,
Those
yeah.
darn doors.
You just call the snake catcher, and they'll come in. They'll take care of
How
it.
fast?
They'll relocate
How fast
it.
do they get there?
I mean, they're like, go, 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 as fast as you need
They
them.
get calls. They're like on the.
They're
on
like
the hour.
911, like let's go.
Yeah. Let's talk about Baller Academy.
Yeah.
What is it?
So Baller actually stands for Believe Always, Love Always. And like any great business, it started from a problem that needed to be solved. When I was growing up in the sport, there was no real high-level training opportunities. So my family, my grandparents, my dad were literally driving an hour and 45 minutes to get me to training one way. And I would train for 2 or 3 hours, and then they would drive back, and then I'd go to sleep at like 11:30 p.m., wake up at 6 a.m. the next day, go to school. So that was my life for year, I think 10, 11, and 12. So that's like sophomore, junior, senior in American.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a lot. But I love the sport. I love the sport so much. Every time I went, it was so worth it. I think like making like the fact that it was so difficult to get training opportunities made me even more like driven, determined, and focused when I was at training. And I think it really helped me get better. But I was finding we do have so many athletes in the Sunshine Coast where I'm from, but not everyone has that opportunity to be able to do those drives. You know, single parent homes like can't do those things. So we were like, let's solve this problem. Like we have enough expertise in our family. My dad is a really high level coach. My mum is incredible with business. My brother is a high level coach and a tech guy. I know a thing or two about volleyball. So it's like, let's start one here. Like, let's do it. Like, let's solve this problem. Let's give these athletes this opportunity that I didn't have. And so now from that heart and that spot, we've been able to grow this academy. And now it's in like 3 or 4 locations. We're launching a new one in a few weeks.
Congrats.
And thank you. And I'm just so proud of
What are the 4
the team.
locations?
So we have a couple of locations on the Sunshine Coast. We have a location in Brisbane, which is the major city in my state. And then we're launching a location up north, which is more regional in Townsville, which is where I'm originally from. So that definitely holds a special place in my heart to be able to provide regional athletes with opportunities.
And this is indoor volleyball.
Yes.
And if young athletes want to sign up, where can they find you?
Yeah, so you can head to our website, baller.academy, and we are also on the gram, baller.academy_. Give us a follow. I hope you guys find some value from our reels. And yeah, that's where you can find us.
And there's camps. It's a full-time club.
Yeah,
does it look
so we have 5 tiers. So I am like a huge believer in progression and the journey of the sport. So we can basically take someone who's never played volleyball before, like they're 9 years old, from our foundations tier, and then they work their way all the way through to elite, which is like representing Australia at the junior level. And then from there, our goal is to help athletes take that next step. So we have 3 athletes that have accepted scholarships to college, which is really exciting. So 2 male athletes in Canada and 1 in the States. So it's just like helping to give them education. Like I've been there, I'm here, like I can help them with that journey and that path. And then also if they want to go and play professionally as well, like my husband literally plays pro, like he's been there for 12 years. Like he's the one that's kind of helping them with that journey, like with agents and what does the life look like? What are contracts? How do I get an agent? All of these things. So we're really, I guess, blessed to be able to help athletes with that.
That is so awesome. And when they come into your academy, and you have 4 locations, you said, how many days a week are they able to train?
So each tier, like they train once per week at the moment, just due to hall availability and access. But we're aiming for our higher level tiers to get to 2 days a week with us. And then eventually the scope is to become like more of a full-time training environment.
And are your coaching staff traveling between the venues, or do you have local coaches?
We have local coaches. We empower the local coaches in the local communities, and this is just so much more helpful for the athletes to have that relationship with their coach as well. And we provide professional development for them as well. They all go through their levels, so their professional development. My dad is an FIVB level 3 international coach, so he's really, really good at being able to. He actually learned under John Kessel in Thailand earlier this year, so very grateful for that. So yeah, that's kind of like, we're not just about continuous improvement for the athletes, but also the coaches. Like, we are only as good as the team that we have.
Right.
So we really believe in like good quality coaching, and that's what's going to help make our athletes better as people first, and then volleyball players.
And name the cities one more time, all 4 cities.
So we've got Sunshine Coast, we've got Brisbane, and then we're opening in Townsville.
Yay.
Yeah.
So exciting.
It's really exciting.
What's one thing that you want people to know about you and your journey moving forward coming into this calendar year?
Yeah, it's hard. Like, beach volleyball is so hard, but I love it, and I wouldn't do it if I didn't. And I think that the lessons that you learn along the way are so worth it through the ups and the downs. And something that's really helped me is my faith, for sure. Like, we've talked a lot about like the inconsistencies with funding, like the struggles, like you win, you lose, you show up to a tournament that you've spent thousands of dollars to get to in qualification, and you lose. Like, what
One
do you,
and done.
one and done, like, what do you do? But my faith is something that is like the same yesterday, today, and forever. And that's something that I've been able to really just like hold my ground, find my feet, and move on. Like, I'm not valued for my volleyball playing ability. I'm not loved by how good of a hitter I am, setter, like my results. Like, I'm loved because I'm Caitlin, and like that is enough. And learning that lesson has been pivotal in my career. It's just changed everything. Like, I can't even explain it enough. Like, if I valued myself based on my wins and my losses, like, I would be depressed. Like, you lose more than you win in this sport. So learning that lesson has really helped to change my life. And now I'm trying to help instill that in especially the young women that I coach now.
That's so important, and especially with social media, people usually just post good things, so it's always a highlight reel, and you're always comparing yourself. Oh, why am I not doing that? Why am I not winning that? X, Y, and Z. So that's so important to identify yourself outside of what you do and like what makes you you. And I think that's really hard to do, especially when you're saturated every day as an athlete going into the gym, and as a competitor, like, you do want to be your best self on the court or in the pool, whatever you do. But you really have to learn how to compartmentalize, like, who you are at the end of the day. If this was taken away from you tomorrow, like, what would you identify yourself as? Like, everybody brings like so much more to the table than just being able to like shoot a basketball or hit a volleyball. And I think that's something that needs to be talked about.
100%. Like, one of my philosophy as a coach is to empower the person to get the best out of themselves. And that applies, I think, to all areas of life. Like, believe in yourself. Like, that is literally Baller. Like, believe in yourself. And like, Baller was born from adversity. I was told that I was going to make the world tour. I was going to be selected for the teams to go. I put off my physio degree, which was a huge financial hit, so that I could have that opportunity to go. And then a few weeks before we were going to go, I was told that I'm not ready and I need to be in a training block and I'm no longer going. And that was like massive. I was like, literally felt like I'd been hit by a bus. Like, when you put everything into it, like you work your hardest every single day. Like, I had deferred 8 exams for physio to go and compete in my first international world tour event. We finished 4th. We did the best out of all the Australian teams that went. And then I got home and I was just slammed by study, right? Like, I was playing catch up. My mental health was like going down the drain. My training was terrible because I was not sleeping. I was pulling all-nighters. I was stressed. So yeah, my training was bad, but like, I just achieved this great result. So I thought that they would understand that, like, what I was going through and how much I had given up to be able to pursue volleyball. And it was my choice. Like, that's my goal. I want to do that. But then for that opportunity to compete got taken away from me. I was like, what am I going to do now? But something like my dad actually engraved a ring for me, and it had Baller on it. And he said, no matter what happens in life, whether you win, whether you lose, whether you get selected or not, like belief and your love is something that no one can ever take from you. And that like really hit me, and I was like, you know what, you are so right. Like no matter what, like the way that I respond to adversity, like if I show up with belief and with love for what I'm doing, like my most authentic self, then that is going to stand the test of time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I
Couldn't
love
have
that
said it
for you.
better. You're bringing me to tears
I know,
now.
it's emotional. It was a hard time.
It is very emotional.
But it's something that I think, like Vic said, needs to be shared because everyone is on this journey and sometimes feel so alone.
You're not alone.
Yes,
You're
not
not
alone
alone.
because those struggles are very real, and because beach volleyball is a little bit more independent, you don't have the bigger team in behind you often saying, "Hey, we're all going to get through this." You are alone. So thank you for sharing that. That's a lovely story, and what a good storyline that your dad had engraved in the ring and you carried forward into your business. Like that's so cool. Any advice that you would have for international junior athletes looking to play in the United States?
Oh my gosh, go. First of all, go. Like, I didn't even think I wanted to come to the States when I first came. I just had no idea. Like, I didn't know who USC, UCLA was. Like, I didn't know who, like, what a conference was. Like, I knew nothing. So, like, I would say reach out to someone who has been there before, like, who has done that. Like, I'm available. Like, there's so many other athletes now that have been to college. Like ask a question, like don't be afraid. Like so many of us want to share our knowledge, we want to give back, we want to help, we want to make your life easier and better than it was for us. So definitely ask the question, get a great highlight reel, like that's really important. And then yeah, just take the steps to make the move, because don't be afraid, I think is like a really big thing. Like you can do it.
The hardest part is starting.
Yeah.
The hardest part is always starting. Like
Yeah.
even like for me today, like going to the gym, like the hardest part is just getting there. Like once you're there and the momentum's going, right? So the hardest part is
put
just
the active wear on.
exactly. It starts with putting some sweatpants on. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Anything else that you want to touch on? That I feel like we hit a lot.
Yeah, we did. I would say, I think like for athletes, just know that you're the only person that knows what's inside of you. I think throughout my career, I've had people telling me, oh, you're doing too much, or you're wearing too many hats. Like I don't know if you're Caitlin the athlete, Caitlin the physio, Caitlin the business person, like, and that was kind of used against me a little bit because they didn't think that I was focused fully on one thing. But there's so much more evidence and research has come out that it's really important to have more than just one thing. Because if you have one, that can become your whole world and that can become your identity. But I knew that this was healthy for me to have these other things, to have that creative mind that wanted to start a business, that wanted to be educated and be a physio, that wanted to play volleyball at the highest level. And just because someone else doesn't think you can handle it doesn't mean that you can't handle it. Only you know what's inside of you. So I would say trust yourself, trust your gut and your instinct, and back yourself all the way, because only you know what you can do.
100%. And my grandma turned 93 yesterday.
Wow.
Jan Dennis. And she said what she always said to herself since she was in high school was always believe in yourself, always think for yourself, and always be honest with yourself. And if you can do those three things, you can do anything. And here's a woman that didn't have indoor plumbing until high school, grew up in the Great Depression, went on to be second female mayor of Manhattan Beach, wrote 9 books, and was so successful. And in a time where, I mean, she couldn't even open a credit card until my dad was like 10, right? So, but always believe in yourself, think for yourself, and be honest with yourself. And I think you do an amazing job at that, and you're such a great example for young boys and girls looking to find, you know, somebody to look up to, and you're that person, and it's so strong and crushing it. And wearing multiple hats, as you said, to reiterate, is so important. And I think like youth athletes nowadays, like parents will pigeonhole their kids into just like one thing or one sport and think they're going to be like the next, you know, Kobe. But it's so important to have multiple outlets, because you learn from each outlet. Like your physio has impacted your playing, like being an entrepreneur has impacted your playing has impacted your physio, and right, like they all like lean on each other, and I'm sure that's something that you've seen.
100%. Absolutely. Yeah. Words of wisdom from your grandmother. That's amazing. Yeah.
Well, congratulations. Keep
Thank you.
crushing it out there. And I'm sure you're based in Hermosa now
Yeah, loving it.
for the
It's so
summer.
good.
So I'm sure anyone who is local, make sure to reach out to you, find you on Instagram.
Yes, at Caitlin Bettenay.
There you
Hit me
go.
up.
Let's do it. I'll see you on Wednesday. We're
Yeah,
playing together.
see you.
Let's
Let's
go. See you on the sand.
Yeah, literally.
Well, thank
Great
you so
team.
much. Like, you
Yeah.
seriously are so awesome, and I'm so happy we made this work. And I'm so excited for Baller, and it's gonna be amazing. Everybody, go follow Caitlin. Go follow Baller. So many good things happening in 2025. It feels good.
It's good. It's a great year to have a great year.
It's a great year to have a great year. I love it.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks for coming on. Thanks, guys, for tuning into this episode. Make sure to like and subscribe. Follow Caitlin and Baller. We'll see you next time.